Now, Girls Love Football, our latest interview. So, can you tell us your name and what you do?
I'm Connie Haworth and I work at Islington Football Club as a football development officer.
When did you first get into, what age were you when you first got into football, and how did you get involved in football?
I always really liked it as a young kid, but I started playing for a team under 12s, I think.
Was that a girls' team or was that a mixed team?
That was a full girls' team, yeah, which was quite good. 'Cause obviously, at school and stuff, I was always just at PE, but it wasn't really for girls, so I was just kind of lumped in with the boys. But yeah, Badshot was like a girls' team, but we didn't get a lot of players.
What were the challenges you faced trying to play football?
At school, I always wanted to play, and we kind of tried to get a girls' team going a couple of times. I think there was literally 3 girls in my year group who actually wanted to play football. So we would play with like the kids in a few years below or above. I don't think we ever got like a full girls football team the whole time I was at school. So that was quite tough because I think I would have improved quite a lot.
What do you think that was? Why did girls not want to get involved? Was it a cultural thing? Was it the opportunities? What do you think it was?
It was like, sport was quite glorified at my school, but it was never, I don't know, like for girls it really wasn't, it was kind of like a bit jock culture, but then it's never seen as like cool for girls to do sport as much, which I think is really sad because loads of girls love sport now, like when you get older and stuff, but yeah, you find it like it takes longer to find your love for it.
Do you think it's different for girls now?
Yeah, I think it's a lot better, definitely. I think we've got like a lot more role models like the Lionesses and stuff, and obviously the Paris Olympics, so it was like 50% split, gender split, so.
Can you just take us on your journey to the path you've taken and the job you've got now, so you can talk us through it a little bit?
Played football all my childhood, and then I went to uni in London. Completely stopped because my uni also didn't have a girls' football team. While I was at uni, I was trying to make the women's football team happen, and they made me the sports ambassador at my uni. So I did like rustle up a team together, but it was mostly kind of rugby team and like some of the netball team and some of the cheerleaders, I think, and we kind of put together a makeshift team. But yeah, I don't think it lasted when I left. Hope it did, but yeah. And then when I finished uni, I joined Camden Town, and then pretty much here we are.
So what did you do when you left uni? What was your first job after uni?
I couldn't find a job for ages, so I worked in like restaurants, cafes and a bar for a bit, and then this job, football development officer thing, popped up on my Instagram. Applied and I got it. I was really chuffed because also I wanted to get a bit more of an officey job, a bit more like using my brain cells a little bit. So yeah, I was really happy, and then it turned out to be a really wicked job as well. So.
Did you envisage getting a job like that when you was growing up?
No, I've wanted to do like a million different careers, to be fair. I don't think I've ever settled on one. I wanted to be like a hairdresser, policeman, stuff like that. But I definitely think that I would have always wanted to work in football because that's, football and music, that was like all I did when I was growing up. So.
What exactly does a job entail? Can you talk us a little bit through what it involves?
Yeah, well, I do most of like the admin at the club, so booking kids onto classes and talking to players. I do like all the treasury stuff, finances, like booking, ordering things, do like interviews, like recruitment and stuff. So like a bit of everything, but it sounds really boring when I say it like that, but it's actually really fun and like really social. 7-a-side league as well, and I end up playing most weeks because all the teams are always short of a player, so that's really fun. Basically, just get to play football for my job. So.
Do you do any coaching at all?
No, I don't. They want me to, but I haven't done any badges yet.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe one day.
From your experiences, so growing up, you grew up in the countryside, Surrey way, and now you're working in London, in the city. Do you think there's any differences for girls growing up in the countryside compared to the city when it comes to playing football?
There's obviously less teams around, so I think I played for like a couple of different teams, but I always had to get like a parent to drive me. Obviously here, 3 or 4 different teams if I wanted to. But also I think that's kind of a good thing because you have loads and loads of girls and they all, gather on one place, and you end up having quite a big squad in the end because there's less options.
Is it more travelling involved if you're in the countryside if you've got a team?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, yeah, away games were like tough. Yeah, I was like carpooling with everyone and a lot of organisation, but it's also quite a fun like day out. I think because we were in the like Surrey Hampshire League, and I think one of the teams we played was the Isle of Wight, so twice a season we'd go to the Isle of Wight.
That sounds good. Is it there's still difficulties for girls to play football, is there, in London?
Yeah, I think I see it a lot at my job, like money issues, kind of parents not being supportive enough to support the kids that want to play football, pitch space.
How would you like the game to evolve, the women's game to evolve in the next 5 or 10 years?
I think I want it to be as big as the men's game, if not bigger, but I think there's a lot of things about the men's game that I don't want to become a feature in the women's game, like the drinking culture, I don't know, the fighting culture and things like that. Like, I think the women's game is such a better environment, like to go to a match and stuff, because everyone's just a bit more nice and enjoying the football instead of, getting on it.
Yeah, I guess there's not so much rivalry, is there? Because I went to an Arsenal-Tottenham women's game one week, and the following week was the men's game, and it was worlds apart, the atmosphere.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I think so. I always say that I support Tottenham men's, but Arsenal women's, and no one's mad at me about that.
What do you think the potential is for the women's game? Do you think it can grow to be as big as the men's game?
I definitely hope so. I think it can, big time. I think, how much it's grown in the last couple years, especially since the Lionesses and the Euros and stuff like that. I think, it's exponential.
Yes. And what would you like your role to be over the next 5 to 10 years within the women's game?
Well, I think I'll be a player for as long as I physically can. But my dream job is to be in the creative department at a club. Tottenham would be sick.
Yeah, because there's a lot more job opportunities in football clubs now, isn't there? So women could get involved. It doesn't have to necessarily be coaching side, does it? Or even playing side. They can get involved in data analysis and things like that. Do you think there's still a barrier to women being able to do stuff like that?
That's tricky, because I think, but also I think clubs are looking for more females to fill the position. So I think you've already kind of got the leg up in a way that I'm a girl, I like football, and it's kind of they're already a bit more interested in you, I guess. But I haven't witnessed any of that privilege yet, because I've applied for a few. So
what would you say the main priorities are for the growth of the women's game over the next few years? Is there a couple of areas that are more important than anything else?
I think spotting players from early on is still really important. I think maybe might get looked over a bit. I think women's teams that also have a men's team, I think getting access to the same facilities as they do, using the stadium and stuff, I think that's so important, which for some reason it isn't a thing.
What about, do you think there needs to be more female coaches?
Yeah, that would be great, Role models are really important, as I said, so.
Okay, and what are Tottenham's chances in the men and women's?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to say bad, but it's always bad. But I've got Son in my fantasy, so he better not let me down.
All right, it's great talking to you. Thanks a lot.